12 spots.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Rink Rats, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and germs, boys and girls, moms and dads. Welcome to the 2020 Rink Blackhawks Draft-a-palooza, also known as the drafting of the Rink Hockey League. Hold on a second. I got to turn this sound off on this.
I hear you.
Somebody's got their sound on. Turn that shit
go ahead.
off. All right. I'm your host, John Jaeckel, also known across the airwaves as JJ. My co-host for this is Jeff Osborn, otherwise known as Gatekeeper. And
y'all need to take a hit of this, Jeffrey. It'll calm you down.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to turn this over to our master of festivities this evening, the widely renowned Mario Tirabassi, who covers the Rockford Ice Hogs like the dew. He's going to be our commissioner for the draft tonight. Yeah, well, whatever. So did you coming in behind me. But so we're gonna conduct a draft here. Mario is going to take you through the rules of the draft. But what we're going to do is we're going to redraft all the Blackhawk players of the last 20 years, basically. We've left quite a few out, but you won't miss them. We're going to take you through our draft procedure with our Commissioner Mario. But first, I would like to introduce all of the teams and their team names and their GMs. I'm going to start with the person who's drafting first, which is my partner, Jeff Osborn. Take it away.
My team is Team Gate Rage. Anyone who knows me on Twitter will know what Gate Rage is. So I'm Team Gate Rage. I got the first overall pick. I'm not going to give any hints just yet, but I have a big introduction coming up, and someone very special is going to read off my pick for me. So,
sweet. Picking second this evening. Introduce yourself and your team, please.
My name is GM Ron Luce. I am the owner and GM of Luce's Gooses, and we're picking second tonight. And my entire draft strategy hinges on what Team Gate Rage does. So,
excellent, very good. Picking third is our own Eric Andrews. Eric, please introduce yourself and your team.
Yeah, so I'm Eric Andrews, general manager of the Chicago Askarovs, of course.
Of course.
Not that that has anything to do with my draft strategy, but yeah. No, we'll see.
Nailed it!
We'll see.
As they say, anything can happen.
Picking fourth is one of our senior members of the Rink staff and a gentleman who I enjoy engaging in banter with on the Rink staff chat. None other than Aaron Goldschmidt. Aaron, introduce yourself.
It does get tiring, though.
It gets exhausting. That's exhausting.
All right.
I'm Aaron Goldschmidt. I'm usually covering the Avalanche here in Denver, but it feels good to put this jersey back on. My team is called Murphy's Law, and we are going to be drafting at all costs to screw over Eric Andrews and his team. So looking forward to it.
Kind of difficult to do when you're picking behind him, but that's fine.
It's a snake draft.
See how it works. That's right. It's true. It's a snake draft. That's true. It is a
phrasing.
I'm picking fifth. The name of my team is Drew LeBlanc's YouTubes. And I will pass
for
it
obvious
along.
Reasons.
I'll pass it along to the owner of the sixth selection.
That would be me, Ray Napientek, picking for the Razor Ray Emery's.
Nice.
Honor the late Razor Ray. So
nice.
Yep.
Well done. Well done. And last but not least, I believe Sean Fitzgerald.
Yep. I am the president, CEO, vice president, assistant to the regional manager, general manager for the Overtime Caros.
Nice.
In honor of Tanner Caro.
Nice. So you know the teams, you know the players. Let's turn it over to our own Mario Tirabassi to get this festivity started.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we could all get together to do this little fun draft here. Hello and welcome to the first and probably only ever Rink Hockey League post 2004, 2005. that all you got? You know you're not at NHL City until you boo me. But yeah, we have 7 teams drafting tonight. We'll do a snake draft. So for those unfamiliar with that format, the person who has the first pick of the first round will then have the last pick of the second round, and the team who has the last pick of the first round will have the first pick of the second round, so on and so forth. There's going to be 20 rounds tonight. We'll be filling out lineups of 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, and 2 goalies, ideally. Each GM can obviously create their lineup in their own strategy. We'll have a 60-second draft clock, and trades are allowed, although I will say that's going to be quite interesting to see how it's going to work, because it's literally just me controlling all of the draft information here. But we'll try and keep it orderly. So parameters for the players that are included in this draft pool: they are any Blackhawks that played for the organization after the 2004-2005 lockout season. They're anyone from Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, all those guys. Kirby Dach and Adam Boquist, rookies this last year, are involved, as are guys like Tyler Arneson and Dylan Olsen, for example. So we go deep, and we'll see how these guys put together these teams. It's going to be really interesting. And the best way that I can describe that I would have a vision of which Blackhawks players you are selecting: take them as they are as Blackhawks. So don't think, oh, this guy had a great career before the Blackhawks, or this guy had a great career after the Blackhawks. Think of them as they are within the Blackhawks organization. And like I said, we go from guys that like Jonathan Toews and Duncan Keith, and guys that have had stellar careers with the Blackhawks, down to guys like Ville Polka. So the draft pool
that's a deep cut.
Is wide open. So we can. I'll
Somewhere
have
in Indiana.
I'll have my 60-second clock here. If
all right.
Is
The
ready to go.
Express
I got another guy that wants to do an intro here. So
Hello, Chicago. A sellout and among the loudest arenas in the league. It must be the United Center. You can do it. You can do better than that. That's more like it. There are a great number of young men and their families who have been dreaming about this moment for years. And so, Chicago, here we go.
So there you go. He wanted to step in and do an intro.
No, thank you, Gary, my predecessor. All right, so are we ready to go?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Mr. Bittman has one last word he wants to say.
So let's get started. The first selection of the draft belongs to the Chicago Blackhawks.
All right.
Or the Gate Rangers.
I was at that draft, by the way. That was in Columbus.
All right.
And we were all in Chicago. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, you
Ready?
are on the clock officially.
On the clock. I'm going to build my organization around this guy. I have someone who's going to announce the pick for me.
Robin Leonard.
So very, very highly respected over at the rink. So I have this person who's going to make my announcement for me.
On behalf of the Chicago Blackhawks, and we proudly select from the London Knights, the Ontario Hockey League, Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane.
Thank you.
First.
Thank you, Mr. Talon. I couldn't pass it up. I mean,
I remember that night well.
All right, Patrick Kane, first player off the board. So we now go to Luce's Gooses for the second pick. You are on the clock.
And thankfully, we'll make this a quick one, as we already know who we are picking. With the second overall pick in the draft and the first pick for Luce's Gooses, we proudly select Duncan Keith.
Ooh.
I'm not, you know what, though? Aaron, I said it. He could go as high as number 2, and he did.
It's getting hot in here.
There you go. All right, the Chicago Ascarovs are officially on the clock.
Yeah, we're not going to mess around here at all. We're going with the obvious pick in Jonathan Taves.
Jonathan Taves. So the 3 players that were on the NHL top 100 list are all taken in the first 3 picks.
I'm not trading with you, Aaron. I'm not trading with you.
Wait.
We have a trade to announce.
No, we don't. I'm going to get my guy at 5.
Oh, Gary was mistaken. Get out of here, Gary. Get out of here, Uncle Gary.
All right, Murphy's Law, you are on the clock.
With the fourth pick in the Blackhawks draft, I select. Excuse me, hold on.
Uh-oh.
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 We bringing in props now?
I thought I set the bar really high with mine. Oh, there we go.
Marian Hossa.
I was hoping he was going to have a Mike Smith recording.
I toyed with taking David Rundblad first overall, but
I was holding out that hope that Aaron would take Lance Boma, as he promised to do. All right. Well, this has worked out well because I thought Aaron was going to take Corey Crawford. He did not, allowing CC to fall to me. And I'm going to build my team from the net out. And with the first pick, Drew LeBaz YouTubes, take goaltender Corey Crawford.
Corey Crawford off the board. First
hey,
goaltender.
you can't take a goaltender in the first round. That's cannot.
That's
what we've been told is you cannot take a goaltender in the first round.
That's what the intelligentsia of Twitter keeps saying.
Only goaltenders in the 6th and 7th round can be taken.
Along with faceoffs don't matter, right? You don't need defensemen to play defense. Just score goals. Those are all those
trash times a million.
Hey, so I got the best goalie. You guys go ahead.
All right. Razor Ray Emery is on the clock.
Yeah, boy.
If you pick Ray Emery, I mean,
that would be cool, actually.
Yeah, maybe a couple of rounds. You guys should probably save him for me.
The 6th round.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm going to have to go with an all-round player here. With the 6th pick, and obviously the best draft, I'm going to select Patrick Sharp.
Ooh. Sharp.
Bit of a sleeper there.
Absolutely.
Sharp.
Man, by the time I get to pick, everyone's going to be gone.
Like I said, this is going to be some deep teams.
It's going to be like this year's Blackhawks, Patrick Kane and everybody else.
So,
all right, to close out round 1, the overtime Caros.
With 2 picks.
I am going to go with the much maligned Brent Seabrook to finish out the first round.
You mean the fat Brent Seabrook?
Sure.
Yeah, you get Seabrook now.
Brent Seabrook. All right, that concludes round 1. We are now on to round 2.
No picking Peter Bondra.
Reverse.
His Blackhawks career was garbage.
Might I recommend a gently used Cristobal Huet?
The overtime Caros, Sean, you start the second round here.
I freeze. All right, sorry, I froze there, gentlemen. I'm gonna take Brandon Saad.
Ooh.
You guys are going right down the line here.
Nice pick, Sean.
All right, Razor Ray Emery's.
And my second round pick. I'd like to thank everybody at the draft watch party out at the Fed Grill in DeKalb. Congratulations to the St. Louis Blues last year on winning the Stanley Cup. And obviously, thank you to Mario, for putting together such great hosts while we've been here in Chicago. With my second pick is Nicholas Hjalmarsson.
Hjalmarsson.
Crap. He was on my board. He was high on my board. Crap. Well, this brings it back to Drew LeBaz YouTubes, I believe. Correct, Mario?
It definitely does. You're on the clock.
On the clock. Well, with this pick, I'm gonna go for versatility. I'm drafting not just a defenseman, but also a forward, a guy I can play in various places in my lineup and crush people, both their bodies and their spirits.
Adam Bolfest?
The big, no, Eric Gustafson. I'm taking the big kid out of Roseau, Minnesota, Dustin Bufflin.
Dustin Bufflin.
Until you said runs you over, you could play forward.
Yeah. What is it? Cam, what was his name? Cam, crap, I don't remember. Guy from about 30 years ago. Cam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
All right, Murphy's Law, second round. You are on the clock.
Who was John's pick? I missed it. I was frozen.
Dustin Bufflin.
Dustin Bufflin.
Okay. That's what I figured.
For my second pick in the draft, I can't believe he's still on the board. I would like to select Artemi Panarin.
Whoa. He's not even on the sheet.
Yeah, he is.
Where?
Under Versteeg, between Versteeg and Tevu.
Well, what? So he was deliberately buried there so somebody could get it.
Hey.
Oh, Mr. Bufflin. You were glowing about Bufflin, but Panarin was there.
No, I'm still going with Big Buff.
This talent pool is not a sophisticated draft ranking list.
No.
That's why I was shocked when they went right down the line for the first
Evidently not.
5 picks.
You could have had that pick, JJ. Just saying.
I know.
Yeah, because I mean, David Rundblad is way down the list, and he should be like number 4 or 5.
Yeah, this was kind of who comes to mind first. So.
Good thing with Panarin, though, you don't have to worry about past April 15th with him.
Oh,
but he is trash.
All right, the Chicago Askarovs are on the clock.
Well, given that we're now outside of the top 10, we are able to start looking at goaltenders now, of course. So even though this netminder did not spend much time in Chicago, I think I'm going to go with Robin Lehner.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
That hurts.
He's in Robin Lehner.
$5 million a year, Robin Lehner.
There he is. All right. 2 goalies off the board. Luce's Gooses, you are on the clock.
Well, every great organization needs a top line center, and with admittedly the by far best one in the pool being gone already, the Luce's Gooses would like to proudly select from the London Knights, Dave Bolland.
Dave Bolland. Center depth is a little thin.
Yeah, but there's some interesting guys there later, but let's not go into that.
Move Sharpie over.
All right, so to conclude the second round, Gates Ragers are on the clock.
All right, let's see here. Give me a quick look here through the list. I'm going to let's see here. I'm going to go back and get some defense here, even though he didn't play much defense. He was great on the power play, and he was an important part, even though he was overpaid.
Brian Campbell.
I'm going to say Brian Campbell.
I knew it.
Brian Campbell.
If someone takes Delia before I get back.
I can spell it right.
Actually, I get the next pick.
Yes, you do. So that concludes round 2. We go on to round 3. Back on the clock, Gates Ragers.
Let's see. Well, I know.
He's going to do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. But I thought about it. I did think about it. I'm just going to have to wait for that one. But I'm a big fan of this goalie, even though he kind of got a raw deal when he was here in Chicago because the team wasn't quite up to par just yet. But he's a good player. Nikolai Habibulin.
Yeah,
I'm going to take him for my goalie.
Nikolai Habibulin.
Not a bad choice.
Habib Yulin. Let's see, what's that? The third goaltender off the board. Nikolai Habibulin.
You guys are going to be down to Kent Simpson.
All right, third round. Luce's Gooses, you are on the clock.
Although he did not spend much time with the Chicago Blackhawks when he was here, he was quite successful, and every good team needs a netminder. The Luce's Gooses are proud to select Antti Niemi.
Antti Niemi. Stanley Cup champion.
He was. It's true. Bit of a run on goalies happening here.
Much like centers, it's not a deep pool.
Yeah.
All right, Chicago Askarovs, you were on the clock.
Well, it's starting to get a little bit harder here, but I think we got to look to the defense a bit. And I would have loved to have had Campbell as my number one, but instead I think I will go with Johnny Oduya.
Johnny Oduya.
Oduya.
Oh, did he?
Gus is still out there for somebody who wants to take a risk on him.
All right, Murphy's Law.
He could play forward too, remember?
Yeah, if Stan Bowman were here,
He
he'd
is
take him.
versatile. He is versatile.
Murphy's Law, you're on the clock.
I'm gonna reach a little bit here, and I'm gonna take with my third selection Kirby Doc.
Ooh, I thought about that one.
So okay, but let me just, Mario, you got to give me a ruling here, because
Sure.
you could take Doc, or you could take someone else who I won't name, who has a great career ahead of them, but basically has not done much. I mean, how does that go into the whole evaluation of your team?
You can take them. So I would say for a player like Doc, I would say that you take him as what he did, what he is to the Blackhawks. So he is
Agreed.
a rookie.
Good.
But he is also looked at as like going to be future piece.
Good. Okay.
So,
Okay. Gotcha. Snapshot of today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're on the team now, snapshot of today. That's
Okay.
a good thing to go by.
Who's up?
You
I'm
are
up, right?
You are,
Okay.
sir. You are on the
So with our third selection, in I believe this is round 3, Drew LeBlanc's YouTube, they're going to go with a guy who really, in his 3 years in Chicago, was pretty phenomenal. He was the best player in the team. Left town under not the greatest circumstances, and then think he.
Aaron's already off the board.
No, not him. This guy scored almost a point a game in Chicago on pretty bad teams. So I'm going to go with winger. I believe he is a right winger, Marty Havlat.
Martin Havlat.
Man, I was thinking about taking him too. I thought I could sneak him in.
No,
I wanted him. He was going to get past me.
I was a Havlat fan at the end. I really was. I didn't want him to keep him over getting Hossa, but
right.
he would have been a nice piece to have as well.
Oh, would have been amazing. Yeah.
All right.
Until he got Cromwell.
That I think really hurt his career, actually, which is a shame. I hate Nicholas Cromwell. Don't get me started.
So do I.
All right, Razor Ray Emery's on the clock.
I think it's easy for me to select a guy that's scored 40 goals and probably has a couple more 35 plus goals.
That cat.
Yeah, people get soured after 1 year. It's funny. I'll take Alex DeBrincat.
Alex DeBrincat.
Cat.
Go ahead.
And I, unlike EA Sports, put him as a winger.
Go figure.
All right, to close round 3, the overtime Caros.
I will take. I'm going to continue the run on goalies. I'm going to go with our favorite uncle, Antti Ranta.
Forgot about him.
All right,
The other Uncle Auntie.
The uncle, yep.
All
Hey,
right.
anyone wants UA? He's still on the board. I'm not touching him.
There's going to be a bidding war for him and Patrick Levine.
So Antti Ranta closes round 3. The overtime Caros back on the clock to start round 4.
I am going to go with Chris Kruger.
Marcus,
Ooh.
Wow.
number 1 center on the overtime Caros. Marcus.
You guys suck.
All right. Razor Ray Emery is back on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going to go in net. Somebody that probably could have stuck around and split time with Corey Crawford and had a pretty good 2 or 3 more years. Scott Darling.
Scott Darling.
You get Carolina, Scott Darling. Or you get whatever that overseas team was that he played this year.
Hey, if he would have stayed here maybe 2-3 more years, stayed around family, split time with Crawford, could have had a pretty good career.
All right, JJ, you're back on the clock.
I got a hole in my donut. I need a centerman, and as I look, it's phrasing. As I look through
phrasing.
What's left of the on the bargain bin, if you will. I find a guy who had a terrific NHL career, and his 1 year in Chicago, he was the second line center and won a Stanley Cup. Brad Richards.
Richards.
Yeah.
2-time Stanley Cup champion.
Right.
I wanted him to stay after 2015.
Yeah, they didn't have the money, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that
Because
probably
you get $3 million the year he played with us, I think.
Yeah. Probably worked out for the best though.
Yeah, he didn't do much after that year.
No. All right, Murphy's Law back on the clock.
All right, with my fourth selection. Jeez, I gotta go with. I just gotta go with what the board's giving me. I'd like to select from Finland, Teuvo Teravainen.
Ooh,
Teuvo.
Man, the wingers are thinning out real quick.
Well, Teravainen off the board. Chicago Askarovs, you are on the clock.
All right, so I think there's a couple guys I'm looking at here, but
It's Molma.
I'm stunned that he's still on the board.
Thomas Yurko.
That was my sleeper pick.
I think I'm gonna.
Charlotte Checkers AHL Calder Cup champion.
You can't take Josiah Slavin yet.
Not yet.
Well, I think I'm gonna round out my top pair and also look to the future at the same time and take Adam Boquist.
Adam Boquist. Pair of Swedish defensemen at the top pairing there.
Can you send him down to Rockford?
All right, Luce's Gooses, you're on the clock.
This is a tough one. You know, I mean, center depth is very critical, and I think this guy is a little underappreciated for his time in Chicago. But I'm going to go ahead and choose Robert Lang.
Bobby Lang. Bobby Lang.
Wow. That is
That
is a deep cut. That's the first real deep cut.
This is a deep pick. All right, Robert Lang off the board. And to close out round 4, Gates Rangers.
Gates Rangers.
On the clock.
All right. Well, clearly I'm going to need a wing because I haven't picked any wings yet. So I'm going to have to pick someone here.
You pick Patrick.
Well, yeah. He's going to play center on my team. So that's what Joel Quenville's giving me some hints here.
2012 Patrick Kane.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Dick Panic.
DFP.
Brandon Bollig.
So, you know what? I'm gonna.
Morin.
Wow, these centers.
DFP.
DFP. You're just getting that now.
We need Puck Hockey to make that shirt for us.
DFP.
Oh, yeah.
Dick fucking Panic.
Oh, that'd be so sweet. I want to design that.
All right, centers. Well, you know what? the center is really drying up, and he's gotten kind of a bad rap lately. But last year, when they acquired him, he played pretty well, and he was well on the way to getting getting almost the same equivalency of points based on the games he played this year, which is Dylan Strome. I mean, his Blackhawks career has been pretty good so far in a year, in only 12 months.
My grandmother could outskate him backwards.
But he's only got to play second or third. Second center.
To get him out of town already?
I got to do it because there's not much more left in here.
All right, Dylan Strome closes out round 4. Gates Rangers back on the clock to start round 5.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to pick another forward. Let's see here. Oof, man.
Alex Nylander.
And no, I'm not picking Jeremy Morin. Well, you know what? I really like this guy. I thought he was stuck on the third line, in their 2010 Cup. But Andrew Ladd was a hell of a wing, and I need to throw him a bone. So I'm going to take Andrew Ladd.
Good pick.
Andrew Ladd.
Good pick. I'm with you on that.
All right, Luce's Gooses back on the clock.
Better than the Strome pick.
Well, I also need a wing, and it's coming down to 2 guys right now.
2-2.
Oh man,
Did you say 2-2 or cuckoo?
He said wing, not defense.
You know what? I'm gonna take this guy. He's had a short Blackhawks career so far, but it's been good, and he's only, I think, going to get better. Dominic Kubalik.
Oh, nice pick.
Oh,
well done.
I thought I was going to sneak him.
That's who I thought you were going to take, Gate.
I was thinking about it.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Dominic Kubalik. Way down on the list here. All right.
Wait, am I reading this right? Is Max Shelanov on this list?
Yes, he is. Well, that's Scott Powers' honorary pick.
Okay, I was going to say.
We are honoring his 20 games with the Ice Hogs. All right, Kubalik off the board. Chicago Ascarovs, you are on the clock.
Rube.
Well, admittedly, I was going to take Kubalik here.
It's tough.
Definitely need a winger. I think I'm going to go with the guy who provided some nice versatility throughout his time in Chicago.
Vince Boma?
I said in Chicago, not in Rockford.
Andrew Burnett.
I thought that was serious. I'm sorry.
I'm going to take Christopher Stieg.
Steger.
Nice.
I just couldn't pull the trigger on him. I just couldn't.
Kane needed a wingman. You could have taken Versteeg, got the band back together. Jack Skilly's still there though.
Yeah.
Left John Madden at the end.
I'm deferring to Mario on that one. I don't know if sarcasm is in the rule book. I'm pretty sure he said Andrew Burnett.
Who, Eric?
That was AJ.
That wasn't me.
No, I didn't hear Andrew Burnett coming from Eric.
Okay.
We have a trade to announce.
You got to trade Burnett.
Oh. All right, Aaron, you're on the clock.
All right. My 5th selection. Am I muted? No.
No, we hear you.
Okay. Still building my top 6. I'd like to take the best guy we've ever traded for, Antoine Vermette.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, because he could play wing too.
Yeah.
Antoine Vermette.
According to Joe Flinville.
Somehow Brandon Bollig played over him in some playoff games.
That's messed up.
What did he have?
Fresh legs. It's fresh legs, guys.
He had 2 game-winning goals in the Western Conference Finals, I believe.
He had 4 goals and 3 of them were game winners that run.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
All right, JJ, you are on the clock.
Yeah, he's my 2C, so just
Well, I really need to round up my D, especially if I'm moving Dustin Buffalo up to forward at some point. So, and the Pickens are getting slim on D. So I think I'm going to go with a little bit of a futures pick because he was still young when he was in Chicago.
Dylan Olsen.
No, I am going to go with Nick Leddy.
Leddy.
thought you were gonna say Chemo Timonen.
That was he was on the tip of my tongue.
Just a few.
You know.
All right, Ray, you are on the clock.
All right. Well, that was going to be my pick.
Can we get an animated GIF in here of a marmot shouting "Ray"?
I wish. I had $1 for every time I saw that thing.
Hey Ray, just in case you're missing his name on the list, Kyle Comiskey is still there for you.
Yeah, that's for the European League draft. We're going to add some size up front, move Sharpie over to the middle, and I think Brian Bickle is going to be my pick.
Ooh. A 2013 era Brian Bickle, you cannot go wrong with.
I was gonna say it was between him and Kubalik for my pick, so that's a nice pick.
All right, close out round 5 with overtime Caros.
So my team is bad and big, it looks like. So I'm going to continue to go big. I'm going to go Troy Brower.
Oh, good pick.
Troy Brower.
Love Troy Brower.
All right, Troy Brower ends round 5. We stay with Sean to begin round 6.
So my defense is, it's basically cones. So I'm going to continue the cone trend. I'm going to go with Michael Roosevelt.
Good pick.
Roosevelt.
So my top 2 pairing is Brent Seabrook and Michael Roosevelt for those.
Seabrook Roosevelt. Can't go wrong with that. All right, Ray, you're back on the clock.
You would find him on my list.
I'm going to break a heart here, and I need somebody that can move the puck if Hjalmarsson's going to play solid defense, and I'm going to take Ian Mitchell.
Wow.
We're reaching.
And Aaron has left the chat.
He was the last. He's literally.
Ray's just trying to fill out that farm team.
Literally the last.
Fill out his AHL affiliate.
Aaron has left the chat.
Wow. That is a surprising pick.
Yeah.
All right, well, JJ.
I got a plan in place though. Need a puck mover. Somebody needs to move the puck.
Okay. All right, JJ, you are back on the clock.
I'm gonna go back forward, and I'm gonna draft a guy who can play center or wing. Before he got kind of banged up over the years, and it kind of hurt his effectiveness. But he was a big hitter, and he had a great wrist shot, and was a pretty exciting player when he was in Chicago. I'm gonna go with the center left wing Tuomo Ruutu.
Ooh, that was gonna be my pick.
Good pick.
I was at a game where Tuomo Ruutu and a buddy of his were sitting in the 300 section. I was at the game with my father. Nobody even recognized who it was back in those days. Your number one center sitting in the 300 level.
That was that era. Could have been his brother Jarkko Ruutu.
How about that for just a different era?
Yeah, really. Great
It was almost like no one recognizing that Nick Schmaltz was sitting at the Chicago Steel game.
Yeah.
10 feet from me one game.
He was hidden by a haze of Marlboro smoke.
Was Jay Cutler there too then?
yeah, they were hanging out.
They were bumming smokes off each
And that was
other.
after he got hurt last year with Phoenix, so he looked like he wasn't limping at all, so.
Well, he's still on the board, so.
Yeah, I know.
So is David Kemp.
All right, Murphy's Law, you are on the clock.
All righty.
You can't pick Ian Mitchell, remember.
Oh, is he off the board now? I wasn't here for that.
Aaron had left the chat. Yeah. Ray actually pulled him.
All right. Well, I need some defense. I don't have any right now. And I'm going to take my team name. I'm going to take Connor Murphy. I need a guy who can clear the front of the net. So let's take him. Team USA from Ohio. JJ's homeland.
That's right. That's right.
Connor Murphy off the board. All right, Chicago Askarovs, you are on the clock.
Yep, I think I'm going to go stay up front, and I think I'm going to grab somebody, again, who provides some versatility as well as some heart, and take Andrew Shaw.
Andrew Shaw. I was waiting. I was wondering why you guys were leaving Shaw up there.
Because he's out with a concussion.
Well, got drafted in the present day 22nd player.
Put up with his nonsense.
All right, Shaw off the board. Luce's Gooses, you are on the clock.
We are going to take a guy who I am upset was not in Chicago longer. I need a big clapper on the back end. I'm going to go with James Wisniewski.
Ooh.
This.
After winning
the Whizzer.
Good old Wiz.
Oh, Whizzer.
Wiz is sort of a textbook knucklehead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he have one shift in Columbus? Then
No, he played a lot in Columbus. He played
That's
like 2 years.
Carolina. Carolina, he had one
Carolina,
shift
yeah.
and he tore his ACL. Yeah.
No, he played. Actually, he's running fantasy camps in Columbus now. Wiz.
Still lives in Columbus.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So to end round 6 and start round 7, we got Gates Ragers on the clock.
All right. Well, this may surprise some people.
I don't think it will.
But you know what? He put up some good numbers. He can't be found in his own end at all. But you know what? He can play a little defense.
Oh, no, he couldn't. No, he couldn't.
My boy, Eric Gusbus Gustafson.
Wow.
Oh,
God.
I mean, he did put up that career year that was, you know, it was Norris candidate worthy, as we were told. So we don't know what we're talking about.
Well, what a way to end round 6. All right. Well, we're on to round 7. Gate, you are still on the clock.
All right. Well, I mean, I got to bolster the forwards for sure. This is a guy that, you know what? He doesn't get a lot of accolades when he was here, but I swear to God, you look at this guy and he looks like one of the toughest guys in the world. John Madden. I need some depth at center, and that guy could shut down some
Solid choice.
people.
Solid choice.
I mean, he was only here for 1 year, but
Yeah,
you know,
solid choice.
John Madden. 1 year, 1 Stanley Cup.
yeah, it was all him.
All right, Ron, you are back on the clock.
All right. As much as I would love to keep
especially that
bolstering
last
my,
game, he wasn't even taking shifts at the end.
as much as
Because he was too good.
As much as I'd love to bolster my D, I need speed up front, and this guy was, I think,
phrasing.
Oh God!
But I'm gonna go with Victor Stahlberg.
Victor.
There you go.
Brandon Bollig played over him in a Stanley Cup final game too.
Deservedly so.
Can I do a write-in for Victor Tikhonov?
I mean, if you really want to.
That's a trade. You have to trade someone in here. You have to pick them and then trade them for the other person. That's how you got to do it.
Yep.
You can pick the coach too, not the actual player.
Yeah. All right, Eric, you are on the clock.
Oh, few interesting names. I think I'm gonna stay at forward and grab some size. He wasn't in Chicago for too long.
Phrasing.
Though he was with them twice, of course. I am gonna take Michael Handzus.
Good pick. I wanted him. Crap.
They're going to say Alexander Karpatsev.
Who's Bigelow, male gigolo?
All right, Zeus is off the board. Murphy's Law, you are on the clock.
Yeah, so I'm going to take another defenseman here. You got to dig a little deep to get this guy. Just recently acquired Calvin DeHaan.
Calvin DeHaan.
That's solid.
If he's healthy.
We're assuming he is.
He starts and ends the season on IR.
Aaron, that's the pick that broke my heart.
You should have told me you were going to plan on picking him. I wouldn't have, so.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to.
Staring daggers through this Zoom chat.
All right, Drew LeBlanc, YouTubes, you are on the clock.
Well, with this pick, I'm also going back into the defense pile, and I really was looking hard at a certain player, and I hope maybe to still get him. But I'm going to go with the player who wore the number that this player wore later on because he always respected him. And he was a pretty good defenseman throughout his career and was pretty good in Chicago. Number 6, Yaroslav Spacek.
So you're going to say Michael Kempney. Old number 6.
Well,
Stanley Cup champion.
That's the guy who wore number 6 because of Yaroslav Spacek. What's up, Kempney?
Good. If the internet doesn't keep freezing.
Mine's fine on the computer.
Mine's terrible.
We could hear you, Sean.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, Ray, you are up on the clock, round 7.
Mm-hmm. Boy, we're really thinning out here, huh?
How are you ever going to follow up the Ian Mitchell?
Says our hairlines.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got Jomerson with Ian Mitchell. I'm not worried about that. I think I'm gonna take to follow up Yaroslav is Michael Kempney.
Good pick. Good pick. I was hoping he'd still be around for me.
After I mentioned him, I was like, I should not have mentioned him because I was going to point him out to somebody.
No, that's the guy I was talking about that
Yeah.
was inspired, but Spacek inspired.
Yeah, I had Handzus on my mind.
Yeah.
And, he was gone. Could have used him winning some draws on my second line, but
We're having a run on Czech and Slovak.
That's what I got
players.
John Madden for.
All right, Sean, finish out round 7.
I am going to keep the defenseman run rolling. And I wonder if he got any Stanley Cup bonuses, but I'm going to take Cam Barker.
Ooh.
Cam Barker. All right, so that concludes round 7.
Very
We move
quiet on the
round
Cam
8.
Barker there.
Round 8, Sean, get us
He had
going.
an okay year right before he was gone.
All right. I'm going to go.
And this is going to start getting deep. People are going to go be lulled to sleep.
This is where the magic happens. I'm more excited about this than the first couple rounds.
Phrasing.
All right. I'm going to go. I'm going to take Michael Frolik.
Good pick. Good pick.
Great pick.
Really good pick.
Yep. Continuing the run on Czech and Slovak players, by the way.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Where is he on my list here?
He is on the
Middle of the second page.
Second page,
Yeah.
right after Ben Eager.
Mike Eel.
Yeah, boy, sticking
All
with
right.
it is me, right?
Yep.
Sticking with the theme, I'm going to go with Kopecki.
Great.
Tomas Kopecki.
Oh yeah, I love Thomas Kopetsky.
Every team needs a few Tomas Kopetskis.
I had his jersey on earlier. I was going to wear it for the draft.
All right, JJ, you are on the clock.
I have got to continue to build out my defense. I'm going to go with really probably the best pure defender available. Good shot blocker, has won 2 Stanley Cups. Bollig Mata.
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 That was a mistake I made earlier.
All right.
The soon to be bought out Ali Mata. If the
All right.
interwebs are true.
Murphy's Law, you are on the clock.
Our new GM will not buy him out.
All right, so I need a really good checking center. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, they saved a bunch of money by furloughing Chris Cook. So
from the Victoriaville of the QMJHL, I'd like to select what should have been our 3C of the future, Philip Deneau.
Ooh,
nice,
good pick.
Damn, I thought you were going to say Tyler Secura.
I wanted to.
I knew it.
Don't take Evan Brophy, please.
Phil double L.
God, if you're not a Blackhawks fan, some of these deep cuts are just getting people. Who?
All right, Eric, you are on the clock.
All right, I am gonna stay up at forward here. Go back quite a ways to a player who was only in Chicago for a couple years, but was pretty productive when he was here. And I'm going to take Radim Verbata.
Great pick.
I've never seen a guy hit the side of the net more than Radim Verbata.
It was open.
You know, I'm looking at these teams. And I'm just wondering, Ron, is Dominic Kubalik going to score 70 goals for you?
He's going to need to.
Yeah. All right, Ron, you're on the clock here.
All right. I'm gonna continue to build up some center depth. I think he's the perfect bottom 6 penalty killing, face-off winning center. I'm gonna take Ryan Carpenter.
Carpy.
Your guy. That's Ron's guy.
He's from Florida.
Is he going to Universal next week?
Wah wah.
All right, and to close out round 8, Gates Rangers.
All right. Well, you know what? I have a little bit of versatility in the lineup because I could put Dahlstrom at wing. But this guy, when you pair him up with Patrick Kane, had some magical years with him, and that's Artem Anisimov.
Yep.
So I'm going to put him with Patrick Kane, and maybe I'll move Strome over to the wing or something like that. And but I could always put Anisimov on the wing too.
You should draft Andrew Burnett, play him with Anisimov and Strome. You'd have the slowest line in history.
Dylan Strome and Artem Anisimov on the
all you need is Václav Prospal to round that out.
I would have before I picked Anisimov.
All right, well, that concludes round 8. We move on to round 9. Back to Gates Rangers.
All right.
Half of your team is collecting Social Security checks.
Hurry up and pick before you get a chance to go back on Anisimov.
Before they all retire?
Before it gives them a no movement clause.
All right, I'm gonna. This guy only played a year here, but he obviously had a pretty good year behind a lot of really good or a lot of good players. Not really good players, but some good players. Dominic Cahoon. He was good, solid on both ends of the rink. You can move him up, down the lineup, first line, third line, whatever. He's a solid player, and it just goes to show the way he scored in Pittsburgh this year. He's got some talent.
That was literally going to be my pick, Gate.
A big kahuna. All right. Luce's Goose is on the clock.
All right. I am torn on this one, but based on, what he was when he was here with the Blackhawks, I believe this player has more upside on the back end. I'm going to take our sweet prince, Henry Yoki-Haru.
Oh,
Our sweet boy.
Yoki-Haru.
Our sweet second boy after Tevu.
Taken.
Yeah, right.
All right. Eric, back on the clock.
All right. I think gonna go back to the blue line for the first time in a while. I think this guy didn't really wasn't really able to show what he could do, both because there were a lot of guys playing above him, and justifiably so, but also just because I don't think he was given a fair shot a lot of the time. Even though he wasn't there long, I liked what he brought, and that's Trevor Van Riemsdyk.
TVR.
Good, solid number
I
5.
did think about that one.
Yeah.
Trevor Van Riemsdyk. All right, we move on to Murphy's Law.
Sorry, I was muted.
Good.
This is getting down there now.
All right, I think it's time to take my 10D. I'm going to select Park Ridge's own Craig Anderson.
Good pick.
Craig Anderson.
Now, his best, by far, his
Hugh
best
Ace?
hockey.
Huey's still on the board, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, sure.
As is Cam Ward. As is Marty Turco.
As is Jeff Berube.
I'm waiting for Jeff Glass. So
Yeah. It's got the crosshairs on Jeff Glass.
he's going to save my organization.
Why
For a
isn't
week and a
Matt
half.
Tompkins on this list?
So
Oh,
All right, JJ, you're on the clock.
with my pick, I'm going to go back to a really dark era in Blackhawk hockey, the days of Brian Sutter, and just a total train wreck of an organization when the 3 best players in Chicago were A, B, and C. And I was really torn between B and C, but I'm gonna go with a guy who was the number 1 pick of the Hawks, drafted 8th overall. Big kid, very physical, great penalty killer, had a good shot, and he actually played some good hockey in Chicago. The end of his career was marked by some off ice issues. But,
he's really drawing this one out.
Mark Bell.
Trying to give himself time to talk himself out of it.
No, I'm just giving you guys a little color.
I was thinking of the ABC.
There's still 2 of them left.
I know.
Mark Bell.
Going to be 2 left after this pick too.
Fair enough.
I'm going to dig a little bit deeper here. He didn't have a real long career here in Chicago, but he is what Anisimov should have been. Probably started playing before some of you young cats were even born. And bring some size, can win some draws for me, and that's Brian Smolenski.
Oh yeah, smoke.
Half of our crowd or half of our listeners and watchers just went, who?
Who?
He was really in the twilight of his career though when he was in Chicago.
All right. To close out round 9, overtime Caro's back on the clock.
So either I missed him or nobody picked him. And I'm curious to know, why nobody hasn't picked him. Is it because we thought he was going to be more than what he was? I'm going to take Nick Schmaltz.
I was going to try and sneak him in there, Sean. Too.
I think it's the odor of stale Lucky Strikes.
Or that tattoo he's got that says 38% in the dot.
Just because they couldn't decide whether he was a wing or a center. They were trying to jam him in at center, but he was actually a wing at the time. That's probably what it was.
Well, hopefully GM Sean knows what he's doing with him.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Overtime Caros begin round.
He's playing. I don't know. We're gonna go with a defenseman that sometimes moonlighted as a forward when Q went 5 defensemen, and is one of Jeremy Colleton's lieutenants. We're gonna go Sheldon Brookbank.
Brookbank Mountain.
Brookbank Mountain.
Of Brookbank Mountain.
I can't take credit for that one. Who was it? It said it was it you, Aaron?
It was me.
That was Aaron.
It was an Aaron idea. I stole it.
Sheldon Brookbank off the board. Razor Ray Emery's. You are on the clock.
I haven't drafted a player since past 2009.
Boy. How about that dead silence, huh?
Man, I have an Adam Clendenon you could have cheaply.
I'll let you keep him cheaply.
Somebody should take Clendenon and then what's his name? I can think of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Gustav Forsling. Just take them both. One traded for the other.
Gotta be close to being on the clock, right?
Yeah, you're down to 20 seconds, right?
Yeah, I think this is going to be just so I could pair him up with another guy and keep him out of trouble. Probably didn't get a fair shake here, but may not be playing the best at his new place as well. But I'm going to go with Jan Ruda.
Jan Ruta. All right, Jan Ruda off the board. JJ, you are back on the clock.
Has anyone actually taken Ray Emery?
No.
The YouTube. He's a YouTube's. Get out that Ray Emery YouTube's jersey. He's my backup goalie.
Ray Emery getting the 2013 team back together.
That's right, brother man.
All right, Ray Emery off the board. There you go. One half of the 2013 Jenny's Trophy winner. All right, Aaron, you are on the clock.
All righty, I'm going D here. I'm going to select Carl, don't call me Cal, Dahlstrom.
Carl AHL All-Star Dahlstrom.
Carl Dahlstrom.
That's
Hey, somebody's got to carry the sticks from the dressing room, buddy.
I mean, he's no Maurice Sider, but come on.
All right, Eric, you are on the clock.
All right, I think I'm going to go back to pre-Kane and Taves days again. There might have been their rookie year, actually. Another guy that was not in town long, but was productive while he was here, and that would be Jason Williams.
Jason Williams.
I did notice that name.
I thought it was a typo.
I gotta find it on here. Jason Williams. Got him.
I can't wait till one of us has to fill this out and fill out the roster and has to draft someone like Andre Alti-Barmakian.
All right, Luce's Gooses, you are on the clock.
I would like to ask a quick question to GM Aaron. What was your pick?
My pick was Carl Dahlstrom.
No questions.
No, he will not trade him to you.
Next question.
If you click on the draft tab, it shows who we've all picked.
I know my other computer died, and that's why I couldn't see it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. Anyway, I need a winger, and I did my homework, and I know a little bit about this guy, and I believe I know him as the C in your ABCs. I'm going to say Kyle Calder.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. He put up some points.
Yeah.
A couple 20
on
goal
some
seasons.
very bad teams.
Yep.
Kyle Calder off the board. All right. And to finish out round 10, Gates Ragers.
Ooh, man.
DFP.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking about it. The DFP. You know what? It wouldn't be me if I didn't pick the DFP.
You got to take DFP.
Yes.
It's me, the DFP.
That's right.
Dick fucking Panic. Richard Panic.
Panic. All right. Richard Panic closes out round 10. We are now officially halfway through the draft.
That's
Damn.
hard to believe.
So
Wow.
to start round 11, we're back to Gates Ragers.
I just like to take this opportunity, a brief commercial interruption, to say that the second half of this draft is going to be really ugly.
This is now officially day 2 of the draft.
Oh, God.
This has been
day.
bad. This has been bad since the third round.
I know.
Mario, change it to 30-second windows.
30 seconds.
All right, I'm definitely going to need a defenseman, and there's not a lot here to yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You don't. No, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
Don't.
Cuckoo. What do you think? No, I'm not gonna do.
Crap.
Yeah. Kimmo Timonen.
Yes.
Kimmo Timonen.
Yes.
His next point with the Hawks will be his first point.
The dream is still alive.
Yeah. So I had to start picking some defense. So
is he going to play more than 6 minutes a night?
He's going to have to. He's got Brian Campbell and Eric Gustafson out there with him too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ron, you're back on the clock. You're also muted. Ron, you're muted.
Thank you. Sorry.
Forfeit the pick.
I am going to do it. I would
Don't
like
do
to
it.
take Cristobal Huey.
Oh, Ron.
That's right. He's a great backup.
Exactly.
You
That's
just
what he is.
don't want to rely on him. Number one.
Nope, I won't. I will do exactly what the Hawks did in the 2010 playoffs. I will ride Niemi and let Huey sit on the bench.
There you go.
Fair enough.
All right. Back to Eric.
All right.
A lot of size in these last couple rounds.
A lot of ugly names here.
I can't believe I'm
Phrasing.
gonna say this guy's name in public.
Oh man, I got to take a defenseman to round out my second pair.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Mario, where are we on time?
There's like 20 of those on here, John. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
This
you're
guy's
gonna find
auto-
out.
It's been 40 seconds.
No, you still got time.
I'm gonna look toward the future again,
Good.
and I am going to take Jim Vandermeer.
Ooh.
Oh. Wow.
Jim Vandermeer.
You know
I
that
want
he
to see into that future.
could only cross over one way. I'm serious. He was a terrible skater.
Not as bad as John Scott.
No. Not as bad as Andrew Burnett either.
Yeah.
All right. Aaron, you are on the clock.
All right, there are a lot of nice, greasy fourth line centers, but I'm going to take the greasiest. I'd like to select Zach Smith.
Oh, come on. Over John Madden?
Zach Smith.
He's not on the board.
Well, I know.
Zach Smith off the board. All
So,
right. JJ, you're up.
So this guy, some of you may not appreciate this player. However, Frank Nova would launch a bunch of off-color jokes about him, but
My
I
aunt can
remember
grow
him.
balls and become my uncle too.
There he is. This guy was a great shot blocker. He had a big point shot, and he was a very important part of the 2010 Stanley Cup. I'm going with Brent Sopel.
Son of a bitch.
Right.
Yep.
Oh.
I was going to take him this time through.
I'm wearing his jersey.
Well, you had 11 rounds to figure that, or 11 rounds to figure that out.
John, is that in your top? Is that in your second pair, Brent Sobel?
I don't know. I got a lot of depth. I don't have any like great.
That is.
I thought you were serious.
That's how you explain the Blackhawks. Yeah, we got a lot of depth.
Depending
No,
on
I
where
do have a lot of depth.
depending on where JJ ends up playing Bufflin, that's either Sopel's either his third or fourth defenseman.
Right.
Second pairing.
Something like that. Something like that.
You can have him.
It'd be his fourth.
Fourth. Bufflin's gonna play D.
All right, Ray, you're up.
Every good team needs a guy like this, especially I might have 5 20-goal scorers there. So I need somebody to do some dirty work on my bottom 6, and that's going to be Colin Fraser.
Fraz.
Colin Fraser off the board. All right, closing out round 11. Sean, you are on the clock.
I seem to fall in love with second line centers of the future that never panned out. So I'm going to take Brandon.
Ooh.
He froze.
He froze right at his pick. What was it?
Brandon Peary.
Oh, okay, Brandon Peary.
Mashinter.
That was so awesome.
I had to go pee. Sorry.
It's like, I'm going to take Brant. And then it
my
stopped.
internet's been terrible.
We were all hanging on it.
All
right. Start off round 12 for us here.
Then I'm going to take my namesake, Tanner Caro.
Tanner Caro. There he is. Off the board. All right, back to you, Ray.
Boy, a fifth defenseman that can do some dirty with it. And I'm going to take Steve Monador.
I thought about that too.
Great Steve Monador.
Absolutely, like great.
And he can play forward.
Absolutely. I can move him up and down my line.
Yeah.
Cam Russell. I just remembered Cam Russell.
I need him to move some people in front, just like the Hawks needed last year. Somebody to move somebody in front.
All right, JJ, you are on the clock.
Need a little more scoring up front. There's not much left.
No.
Oh,
not a lot.
Not pretty.
You might have to take Andrew Burnett.
Sorry, this is a long list here. I gotta dive deep here. While I'm tempted to snag Alex Fortin while I can, I am going to. Crap, where is that guy that I was going to take? I'm going to actually go with Alex Nylander.
Ooh. Unexpected from JJ.
Ooh.
Alex Nylander.
What?
All right. Murphy's Law. Aaron, you are on the clock.
All right, I'm going to close out my second pairing on defense with another AHL extraordinaire. I'm going to go with Adam Clendenon.
Oh, I didn't think he was going to get picked.
Hey, he was instrumental in the 2018 AHL run to the conference final.
Yes.
All right.
Have some respect.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I have some respect for the pesky pigs. All right, Eric, you are on the clock.
Let's see. I think
The guy who took Eric Gustafson's criticizing my pick.
You could say that with about half my picks. So
I'm going to go with another player who I think left Chicago too soon. Went on to have a decent career, but was still moderately productive.
Anton Forsberg.
Don't do it.
I'm going to take Rene Bourque.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. I'll give you
Not
that.
a
one.
bad pick. Not a bad pick.
It was literally my pick, Eric. It was literally going to be the next pick.
We're all stealing your picks, Ronnie.
Oh,
You got to trade up.
I know.
I should have been calling Aaron
We have a trade to announce.
All right, Ron, you're on the clock here.
We're open for business here, Ron.
Oh man.
Man, oh man, oh man.
You know what? I'm gonna go get a defenseman. I'm gonna get a guy that I at least enjoyed. I mean, he wasn't the end all be all in his time with the Hawks, but he was okay enough. I'm gonna go with Cody Franzen.
Okay enough.
Damn it.
Okay enough, Cody Franzen.
I wanted Franzen next time.
I actually
Not quite okay enough.
He was on the 2018 AHL Rockford team.
He was quite the key piece.
Him and Clendenon.
There you go.
And Chris DiDomenico, don't forget him.
Dita.
As many do. All right. Gates Ragers close out round 12.
All right. Well, I don't have much in the way of defensive defensemen on this roster. I might need someone to play a little bit of defense
Just outscore everybody.
Yeah, just small puck moving wingers. Mm-hmm. That's the new thing. The NHL is changing, right? That's a great point. I know he took a lot of guff, but you know what? He was a tough SOB, and that's Nick Boynton. So I'm going to take Nick Boynton.
Yeah, guy played with diabetes. Come on.
Yeah, he was tough, man.
Yeah.
A little bit slow, but I got enough fast defensemen.
And he was a junior teammate of your other defenseman, Brian Campbell. So
there you go. I'm going to pair them up together.
Thanks, Pierre.
Boom. Nailed it.
I am feeling kind of douchey tonight, so there you go.
All right.
Sir, one more outburst. I will strangle you with my microphone wire. You understand me?
Lucky 13. Gate, get us going.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna have to go back up to forward somewhere.
Shout out to anybody who's still listening and with us. Round 13.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do any of them. You know what?
Pretty sure there's an AHL or let's see, All-Star Game MVP still on the board.
Yeah, probably. Let's see.
Alex Fortin.
Garbett.
Oh man. How about
the Edmonton native?
Caggiula.
I'm gonna do it. A shout out to a West Dundee. Ryan Hartman.
Oh. You get his dad too.
I get drinks free at the bar. So
yeah. You'll be the only customer.
They're gonna repaint it every week, but
all right. Hartman off the board. We go back to Ron.
Oh boy. Do I do it? I think I'm gonna do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna follow Gates. And I'm gonna take the Evanston native, Tommy Wingles.
Tommy Wingles.
Good old Whammy Tingles.
Was that the pick, JJ? I'm sorry.
No comment.
Are we doing a run on local talent now?
No comment.
All right, Eric, you are on the clock.
Don't do it.
All right.
Turcotte.
Oh man, I'm gonna go back to the Dark Ages again and round out the ABC line with Tyler Arneson.
I almost picked him. I have too many centers though.
Arnie.
Much respect for my team.
He had great hands. He could not skate though, and he was fat.
Other than
that, he was perfectly great.
Yeah, other than fat and slow.
No, he made some he had some great hands. He really did, but
fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life.
No.
All right, Aaron, you're up on the clock.
Don't do it.
I need the last piece of my top six, and there aren't that many guys that have played there for the Hawks. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy who scored a huge goal in overtime against the Vancouver Canucks, Mr. Captain America himself, Ben Smith.
I'm out of a lot of them. Taking all the guys I had.
Didn't Jesse Ratcher say he was like a second line center of the future or something?
Crushes.
Could have been.
I did.
All right, JJ, you're up.
Well, I'm breathing a sigh of relief because all these guys that I want are falling to me. And this guy continues the run on Chicago born and bred players. And I got a spot for him on my forward lines, maybe line 2, maybe line 3. Vince Hinostroza.
My cousin Vinny.
Thought about him.
I was just looking at that too.
Any
My number's sake.
You know, a little backstory here. When I was going through this list and making sure I had everybody, I went up and down maybe 3-4 times, and I was like, "Is there anybody I'm forgetting?" And Vince Hinostroza was one of the last people. I was like, "Oh yeah, forgot about him." So that's why he's all the way down here with Mackenzie Entwistle and Andre Alti-Barmakian.
Easy for you to say.
Someone's gonna have him.
All right, Ray, you're up.
Oh boy, oh boy. I need somebody to take some big draws in some big situations if Sharpie can't get out there. So how about Andrew Desjardins?
That's who I wanted next. Damn.
Desi.
Damn.
Andrew Desjardins.
That's a great pick.
All right. Finish out round 13. Sean.
Did I miss David Camp being picked?
No, you didn't.
I'll take David Camp.
David Camp.
Someone had to.
All right. That closes round 13. Round 14.
That was at gunpoint.
Round 14. Sean, you are up again.
Still don't know who's scoring for Ron's team. Just an update.
I am going to go with
The defense are scoring.
I'm going to go with a guy who played 4 games for us. Klaus Dahlbach.
Klaus.
I like Klaus.
I like Klaus in an Arizona Coyotes jersey.
Well, I have, let's see, 2 current Coyotes on my roster. So
there you go.
Let me get this straight, Jeff. You think Adam Clendening's going undrafted, but you say I
Stick with
like
that theme.
Klaus Dahlbach?
Yeah, I do like Klaus Dahlbach. He played better defense than Adam Clendening. Clendening was more offensive.
All right, Ray, you are on the clock.
Yeah. Oof.
Is it a calculator I'm hearing?
No, it's my keyboard.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out
Working the numbers.
I'm calculating all you guys as cap hits here.
Cap league.
I thought Ron was doing his taxes.
I don't have much money on my cap.
Yeah, some budgets are getting crunched here.
I'm stuck. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I just said, oof, looking at the names that are left.
There's a lot of good names left.
Gonna have to find my backup goaltender here. Who's gonna go 50?
The namesake. Didn't he go? He didn't go, did he?
Yeah, he did. He went to
He's a YouTube.
He's in YouTube.
I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna break more hearts here and grab Colin.
Jeff
Gilbert.
Oh,
Colin double L.
that hurts. That hurts.
I thought about taking him too.
That's tough.
I thought he might be able to slide down, and you guys might take some other backups. I might be able to slide him in late.
Can I take Matt Tompkins with the last pick of the draft, or is that not acceptable?
You want to write him in?
Yeah, you have to draft, nail him off, and then trade him for Tompkins.
Yeah. All right, JJ, you are on the clock.
I'm actually going to go for the second best face-off guy on this list behind Jonathan Taves, Yannick Perreault. He's going to be my key face-off guy.
And then he gets right off the ice.
Yannick Perreault. All right. Yannick Perot off the board. Back to Murphy's Law on the clock.
When we publish these teams online, people are going to be like, oh, whew.
Yeah, I cannot wait for you guys to put these lineups together. This is going to be great.
Yeah, you got to make lines too.
Yep.
I do have Hossa, but I don't have that much leadership, and I need some leadership on the back end. So I'm going to go with the captain, Adrian Coyne.
Not a bad pick.
Nice.
Captain
Yeah.
Healthy Scratch.
Yeah, pretty much. He was kind of done in Chicago, but
I did think about taking him though.
had a good career overall.
Oh, Coyne. All right, Eric, you are on the clock.
All right. I'm gonna go to the blue line and hope that my AHL coach can do some good work. And I'm gonna take Nick
He's
Beaudin.
coaching your NHL team right now, so
True. I'm gonna take Nick Beaudin.
Ooh.
Futures pick. All right, Nicholas Beaudin off the board. Luce's Gooses, you are on the clock.
Well, as Aaron mentioned earlier, I also don't know who's going to do any scoring on this team. And so, I know he's slower than a bag of potatoes on the ice, but he did score 12 goals in his only season as a Blackhawk. I'm going to take Andrew Brunette.
JJ's heart is broken.
all the grit, that grit from the 10-11 team, I believe, wasn't it? Or
Yeah, 10-11, yep.
yeah,
Yep.
Montador, Burnett, and Sammy Lepisto all added in one season.
Fernando Pisani.
Yep, that's right.
That was the 11-12 team.
Oh, was it?
With
Thank you.
Lepisto and Montador and
Sammy Lepisto. Wow.
All right, closing out round 14, Gates Rangers.
Why isn't Russ Olez on this list?
Because he's a legend.
Didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? This guy's another leadership pick. Tough guy. Had a good career. Martin Lapointe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he's sitting here quietly, and no one's going after him. So I'm gonna snag him.
Not a bad lower line guy at all.
All right, that closes round 14. Round 15, back to Gate.
All right. Well, I'm gonna need a backup goalie here at some point in time, unless Hobby Boone's gonna play 100 games a year.
I'll trade you. I'll trade you. Delia.
What's your price?
Prove
What's your
it.
price, Ray? What's your price?
We have a trade to announce.
Give me I'll take Cahoon off your hands for him.
Negative.
Oh, okay. I'm
Jeff
good.
Price.
Yeah,
You know what?
I'm
No,
going
go ahead.
more north on there, so you're good.
All right.
Jeff Glass.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go kind of old school. Again, this guy actually played decent when he was here in Chicago, which is the teams in front of him, not all that great. Patrick Lalime.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
All right. Back to Ron.
I need to load up on some wingers that can at least pretend to put the puck in the net. And this guy at least has a nearly 20-goal season under his belt. Had a couple of goals with the Hawks before he was shipped out for defensive prospect Alec Regula. I'm going to take Brendan Perlini.
Brendan Perlini.
Brendan Perlini.
We hardly knew thee.
Perlini before Swine.
Regula scraps.
All right, Eric, you are on the clock.
All right. I don't know. If I was in Ron's shoes, I would have picked this guy instead for goal scoring. He scored 18 goals in his only year with the Blackhawks. And that would be another dark age player, Jeff Hamilton.
He was good. I like Jeffy Hamilton.
Yeah.
Number 51, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
F. Hamilton off the board. All right, back to Murphy's Law. Aaron, you're on the clock.
Thanks, Bowman.
Another leadership pick for me, a guy who can, as Jeremy Collins said, he can play up and down the lineup. I'm going to go with forward Chris Kunitz.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, I can't believe you did that.
Come at me.
Oma would have been a better pick for what it's worth.
Aaron needs more cups in the locker room. So
there you go. Rings in the room, baby.
All right, JJ, you're back on the clock.
I think I got to round out my defense and see what I got left here. Yeah, there isn't much left. No.
Indeed.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna take Slater Cuckoo.
Oh.
Cuckoo.
Took me a bit.
He is my number 60 man, without question.
There you go. All right, Ray, back on the clock.
I'm going to go with some more youth here. Yeah.
Did he say Ute?
Ute.
Some Ute.
Some more youth here.
The two Utes.
What's a Ute?
University of Wisconsin, playing in my bottom six, and Evan Barrett.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay. Interesting futures pick.
Evan Barrett.
You say University of
He's killing it on my NHL 20.
I saw him play against Wisconsin.
Oh.
All right.
On that.
Sean, close out round 15.
I will take Gustav Forsling to round out my defense.
You guys are missing the true gem on there.
Kyle Kaminsky.
All right. Round 16, back to Sean.
I will take one of my favorite European players, a center, Peter Regan.
Peter Regan.
KHL legend, Peter Regan.
Yeah. Teams of a European persuasion.
All right, Ray. Back on the clock here.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
That's what she said.
Everybody needs a knucklehead, right? And then if McDonough's my president, I could always just have him market this guy up and down. Adam Burrish. Somebody's got to play in the fourth line.
Now there's somebody from Wisconsin.
Yep. On Wisconsin.
It's a good pick. All right, JJ, you're back on the clock here.
I gotta build up my bottom 9 forwards, my bottom six forwards. I'm going to get a big banger. It was a first round draft pick, I believe, of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Phrasing.
And won a cup here in Chicago. I'm going to go with Ben Eager.
Good pick.
All right. To Aaron. Back on the clock.
Taking a guy who should have done better in Edmonton. I don't usually take fighting Hawks, but let's go with a guy with some upside and not many teeth, Drake Caggiula.
Caggiula.
Yeah,
I just couldn't pull the trigger on him.
I was thinking about it. I really like him.
Jula Oblongata. Off the board. All right.
This was a Rockford fantasy draft. I would have taken him.
You never played in Rockford.
I know. I'm just saying he'd be on my.
He said he belongs there.
That's where he belongs.
Ray's not a fan of Caggiula Oblongata.
No. What does he bring to the table?
Plays a lot of NHL 20. All right, Eric, you're on the board on the clock.
Sorry, Aaron.
Let's see. Oh man, probably would be wise to take a goalie.
Not according to the Blackhawks.
Leonard.
Well, that's true.
With the team he picked, he's only going to be playing 59 minutes. So.
Yeah, why is Malcolm Subban not on this list?
Doesn't qualify. You got to play more than 2. You got to play more than 2 minutes.
Is that why Ken Simpson is not on the list?
I mean, he wasn't great in his time here, but had a very successful career. I'm going to take Cam Ward.
Hey, well, he was all right.
Yeah.
He was just overwhelmed here.
Yeah.
He wasn't terrible. It could have been a lot worse if they would have left it to Colin Delia and some other AHL guy, making their debut behind that team.
Mm-hmm.
True.
All right, Ron, you're on the clock.
All right. This is tough.
Keith's your goal scorer, Ron.
He is my goal scorer. And you know what? In the spirit of knowing that I'm going to be only able to win games 1-0 potentially, or 2-1, I'm going to continue to build up my defense. I feel like this guy was a little underappreciated. He wasn't all that great, but he was an okay bottom pairing guy. I'm going to go Jordan Henry.
Jordan Henry.
Ooh,
Thought about it.
Forgotten man.
If I'm not going to win games with scoring, I'm going to win with defense, something the current Blackhawks don't know how to do.
All right, closing out round 16, Gates Rangers.
All right. You know what? Another defensive guy, slow, but maybe slightly underappreciated.
Matt Walker.
Maybe slightly overappreciated. Matt Walker.
Yeah. I knew it.
I know how I'm going to round out my defense, and I'm hoping no one.
Kaminsky.
But I can't take it now. I'm not going to.
You're gonna get Rugblad. I know you're gonna get Rugblad.
No.
Can you promise me that you pair Walker with Gustafson?
Yes, I will. I will do that.
Perfect. Actually, Walker was actually not a bad player. He just couldn't. He had no mobility at all. But he was actually a pretty decent defenseman. Aside from that, short.
Which is just like Boynton. Yeah.
Right.
You would have been
I'm
good
at both ends of the spectrum here.
And Cam Russell, same thing.
All right. I need another forward. Let's see. There's not a whole lot to pick from here. You know what? I'll go with my futures pick. Mr. 60 points, Dylan Sakura.
Oh God. You gotta take Rundblad now. You've almost got the trifecta. Oh God.
The irony of this draft is killing me.
Yeah, isn't it great? This is fun. And Mario, this is a great idea.
I just love
Everyone give props to Mario for this.
I thought we'd have some fun.
To go back to the 60 point, I just love DeBrincat did this. So Sakura, I don't know, maybe like 60 points this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 60.
160. What are you talking about, man?
60-point career is what he's going to end up with.
Yeah.
He was a top 6 forward coming out of college. Everybody said it.
Oh, he was Stan's big trade deadline acquisition.
Big deadline.
He was Jimmy Vesey 2.0.
Yeah. Was.
Ron, you're on the clock.
Well, I do have to say this about it.
You keep using this word jabroni, and it's awesome.
Go ahead.
All right, Ron.
Man. Here we go. I need to go another winger, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I'm going to go ahead and take the next best thing since sliced bread out of Yale hockey, John Hayden.
Well, I wanted John
Hayden.
Yeah, I had my eyes on him too.
That's just because of his flow.
Yeah, his awesome flow.
Put Brunette and Hayden on a line together.
Out of grit.
I'll even have Tommy Wingles as their center too.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, Eric, you're on the clock.
All right, I am going to take a bit of a futures pick as well, but I really liked what he did in his limited time this season, and hopefully he can continue that in the future, and that would be Lucas Carlson.
Lucas.
Can't really be any worse than the rest of these guys on this list.
Lucas Carlson ahead of Dennis Gilbert, who is still on the board.
Correct.
And he might end up on the board.
He might stay on the board. All right, Aaron, you are on the clock.
Rounding out my fourth line of more grit, select Jamal, or sorry. Hold on a second. Not Jamal.
Nope, he's got to take. Yep.
Take him.
We need a ruling. We need a ruling.
Take Mayers.
Jammer Mayers. I'll take him.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Jamal Mayers, where is he at? There you are. All right. Jammer, gone. JJ, you are on the board, on the clock.
So this guy's become a subject of controversy, both during his playing career and after. But he was actually pretty underrated as a hockey player. Played with Kane and Taves some, but can play up and down the lineup. Dan Carcillo.
I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Arbon.
Pretty good hockey player.
When he had his head out of his ass, he could be, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Ray.
Hey, caramba.
Ron, is Tommy Wingles in your top six?
He is not. Dave Bolin and Robert Lang are in my top six. Hey, Robert Lang had 50 points. Kane and Taves his rookie year. So,
I'm going to.
Ray's laughing at how awful my offense is.
No, I'm laughing at the names I got left. I'm gonna have to select Jack Skilly.
Wow.
JJ's favorite player.
Not really.
Yeah. If he was drafted in
First round draft pick.
if he was drafted in the 5th round, you'd go, okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're right. You're right.
He was just not.
If he was drafted in the 5th round, Dylan Olsen would be, all right.
All right, Sean, close out round 17 here.
Future pick. I'm continuing my trend of former recent draft picks. Tyler Mott out of the University of Michigan, I believe.
Yeah, he's from Michigan.
All right, did I have him?
He's on the last page before Hegel.
Winger.
Yep.
Winger / center. All right, that closes round 17. Round 18. Final three rounds here.
I was going to pick Tyler Mott just to get under John's skin.
You would have succeeded.
Sean, you're on the clock.
Yep. Gonna go with a guy who didn't fulfill his promise here, like most of the guys on my roster. Jimmy Hayes.
Jimmy Hayes.
Not bad. Given where we are in the state of the draft.
After the 6th round, everybody on my team did not fulfill their prospect. Except Tanner.
Back to Ray.
Holy smokes.
Hey, no. Every time I get a pick, I'm like, do I have to?
I gotta say, there's some decent talent still left out here.
What are you looking at, dude?
Well, if we're making up Rockford's roster, sure.
Just a different list. Sorry.
If we're making up Rockford's roster, sure. I think you got part of the 18 playoff team still on the.
We do.
How about I'll go with a little bit more grit down at the bottom. He had a little bit of skill too. Matthew Barnaby.
Tough dude.
Yeah.
Barnaby.
He's right up there with the toughest on this whole list.
Yep.
All right, back to JJ.
Oh, the pickings are slim.
Sammy Lepisto.
No. You know what? He was a good penalty killer. Great fighter. Once saw him just absolutely destroy Ryan Reeves in a fight when they were both in the AHL. And he won a cup. I'm going to go with Brendan Bollig.
And him and his wife are now starting their own physical training company.
Nice.
Just saw that.
Oh, that. Yeah.
His wife's not. She's not hard on the eyes either. So.
Not surprising.
All right, Aaron, you are up.
My last pick on my fourth line. This guy was acquired from the Atlanta Thrashers in the Dustin Byfuglien trade. And he came over along with Marty Riesener and Joey Crabb. My pick is forward Jeremy Morin.
He's free.
I think he's got more miles than
Brandon Peary.
Probably, yeah.
He's the reason why we got DFP. Just remember that.
DFP, baby. It's me, it's DFP.
DFP.
Brandon Bollig was at a Steel game that I was at, and I was standing kind of right next to him, said hello to him. And when he looked at me, I wanted to say, I thought you'd be bigger, but I didn't. I thought that would be a really bad place to get my ass.
Probably that's smart.
I didn't know if he'd know I was sarcastic or not, so I didn't say it.
Yeah. All right, Eric, you're on the clock.
All right. I definitely would have taken a shot at Bollig if he was still there. That was a good pick, JJ.
And he would have picked him.
I would have. You're right. I must say, as far as future picks, I'm a little bit surprised that this guy is still on the board. Even though he's yet to make his NHL debut, I'm hopeful that he can become a decent middle six option.
Uh-oh.
And that would be Philip Kurashev.
Future pick. Like it.
Yeah.
All right, Ron, on the clock.
All right. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these wings, and there's two guys right now that I am just like, you know, and I'll tell you what, if Stan Bowman thinks he's worth a third round pick, I think he's worth a pick this late in the draft. I'm gonna take Tomas Jurko.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice segue.
The highly scouted Thomas Jurko.
The pursuit for 6 weeks, Tomas Jurko.
Wow. Oh, how do I follow that one up?
Oh,
okay. Well, how about this? I know I need to round up my bottom pair, but I could use a little versatility too. And if I'm going to get a guy that punches faces, I might as well get the best guy that punches faces.
Scott,
Mr. John Scott.
The T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The Murdersaurus Rex, baby.
I'm seriously surprised he lasted this long.
I had my eye on him for a while, but I wanted him to be my last defensive guy.
All right, round 19, Gate on the clock.
Holy crap!
I was just I just want to take a pause here. I want to make sure, in all fairness, does everyone have two goalies at this point?
No.
No.
I do.
I do not.
I do.
Yeah. So keep an eye out on goalies, boys.
All right.
There's a couple actually decent backups there that I would are still worth taking, I think.
Yeah, not terrible.
No.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to change everything. What I just said about John Scott on my third pair, I'm going to bump John Scott up to my fourth line, and he's going to play wing. And on my third pair, I'm going to shore it up with a Mr. David Rundblad.
Oh,
God.
There you go.
God
I
help
started
us.
typing that in before you even.
Drop the mic.
Is
I
John
knew that was
Scott
coming.
on the list? I can't find him.
Yeah, he is. He's right under Chemo Tiemann, who I also picked.
Yeah, I know. I like crossed it off my list, and I was like, wait a second, where is he on my paper?
Yeah,
David Rundblad was turning the puck over before Gus was born.
That is for my boy Matt Schultz. My boy Matt Schultz, who loves the David Rundblad references. So
God
Scott
help
so
us.
slow he wasn't even on my sheet yet.
2 second round picks from the Hawks.
there we go.
All right, Ron, you're up.
Can I have a write-in pick? I have a write-in pick.
All right, let's.
You
Well,
have to Venmo everybody $10 though.
Oh, look at JJ with that beautiful hat.
Deal.
And I'll tell you what, this one's a bit off the board. He only was here for a year,
Not even a full season.
actually. Is that okay, Mario? First and
Sure.
foremost.
Just tell us you want to declare. We get it.
You're
All right.
right.
No. I would absolutely love to add
Trevor Daly to my back end.
Yeah, you could do that. I guess you can. I guess he was around long enough. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Played 29 games before he was shipped out to Pittsburgh.
That's
I was
fine.
at one of those
We'll
29
take it.
games.
We'll take it.
Okay, sure.
6
I thought you were
defensemen.
gonna say Stanley.
With the caveat, he sucked at Chicago.
Oh, absolutely. It was god awful.
Oh, they thought he was a fourth defenseman, and he was a 6.
I mean, yeah. Let's look at some of our other third pairs that are on here, like David Rundblad. So
he's my 6, so I'm cool with it.
All right, Eric, you're up.
Oh man, it's real bad now. I'm on to my fourth line at this point, and I think this is another guy who probably left town a little bit too quickly, but has gone on to have a pretty decent career as a fourth line type of guy, and that is Joakim Nordstrom.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Solid pick.
That's a sneaky good one there.
He's carved out a good career over in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Aaron takes Lance Bola.
Way too soon.
I actually have all my forwards, so
All right, Aaron, you're on the clock.
he's gonna be my head coach. Not sure why anyone hasn't picked this guy, but I'll take Dennis Gilbert.
Dennis the Menace.
Because he went to Notre Dame, that's fine.
All right. To JJ.
I'm going to take a dip in the futures pool. This is a guy who really doesn't get a ton of press and mention, but was extremely productive in junior, real scorer, and he plays an NHL-style game. And I think he could actually have a future with the Hawks, and that is Brandon Hegel.
Yep.
yeah, I do like Hegel.
Brandon Hegel.
I feel like I heard that about Highmore some time ago.
I'm more as Blackhawk. Like it or not, he's a Blackhawk.
Still available as well.
And Alex Fortin still has time.
All right, Ray, you are on the clock.
I'm gonna take
Just so everyone knows, there's like 7 more picks, so
Yeah,
hang in
that's
there.
it.
Yep.
Easily one more.
I need somebody to pair with Monador for 6.5 minutes a night, and hope that he plays like he's 28, not 40. We'll go with Sean O'Donnell.
Oh my!
I considered it. There's also another guy that I considered but didn't get
Just need
picked.
a fountain of youth for.
Jason
Yeah.
Cullimore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about Cullimore, but I'm not going to pick any more defensemen.
All right, final 2 picks for the overtime Caros. Sean.
All right. Sticking with my KHL All-Star team. I'm going to
Yes.
go with Jeff Glass at goalie.
No. Why did you pick Scott Foster?
That's my write-in pick.
He wasn't available.
Shout out to Stash Esquire. He wrote that pick in the Scott Foster. So shout out to our boy Stash.
And then I'm going to go with Scott Powers' favorite, Max Shulinov.
Ooh, I thought about since I'm Mr. Irrelevant, I thought about doing that.
I'm sticking with my KHL All-Star team. So after the 7th round, that's what it is.
All right.
Holy cow.
Close it out for Ray.
By the way, there's one person watching the live feed now, so let's make it good.
I see 5. It says 5 on my end.
Oh, it does? I only got one. You.
How about Matthew Highmore?
That's a good pick. That's a
pretty
solid
good
pick.
All right. Over to JJ.
Oh, crap. I'm going to go a little penalty killing here for my 4th line. And I'm literally down to Lance Boma, who was a pretty good penalty killer. And my guy, who I'm going to take because I think he still can have a future in the NHL, if not with the Hawks somewhere, Alex Fortin.
Alexa, failure lights on.
Alex Fortin.
You could find
The least surprising pick.
I almost took him just to be an ass, but I already had Tyler Mott, so I didn't want to aggravate JJ anymore.
Over to Aaron. I'm pretty sure I can write in this pick.
For my
Sure.
last pick, I need a backup goaltender.
Stan Mikita.
And since I can't take Scott Foster and I can't take Alexis Gravel, I will take
Wood or Peters.
I will take the Michigan Wolverine, who's won over 250 games, Mr. Gillette himself, Marty Turco.
I like Marty Turco, so yeah. You're not going to get a lot of pushback for me.
Himself.
Got a Turco jersey and
Absolute
a Turco
Turco rules.
McFarlane.
Marty Turco.
A
All
lot
right.
popping in Chicago.
Eric, on the clock.
He's gonna do it. He's
Oh,
gonna do
man.
it. He's gonna do it. You know you want to do it, Eric.
All right. I'll appease the folks at home. I'll take Lance Boma.
Yeah.
There he is.
Which, for the record, he literally is the last player on my draft board.
At least he was on the board.
Aaron disappeared.
Yeah,
Aaron's left the chat.
How appropriate. The 2 times he should have left, he left.
All right, Ron.
What is the minimum number of games they need to have played in a Blackhawks uniform?
You already used your write-in.
Oh, okay. If it was only one. All right.
Can I at least just say what it would have been if I would have gotten a second?
Yeah.
Marco Dano.
Down.
Oh. See, he would have fit right in with my team, former Flameouts.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Here's what I'll do. I think the beauty of the world we live in is that a lot of times centers can play wing. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and take a penalty killer, a guy who can come in and take draws if I need him to, if my center gets kicked out. I'm going to take Dennis Rasmussen.
That would have been my real pick, actually.
Rasmussen. I haven't listed him as a center.
Ooh, man. I got to wrap this thing up, huh?
All
Lucky
right.
me.
Final pick.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Lucky me.
Drum roll.
Lucky me. Ooh. All right. Well. All right. I'm going to go with a juniors legend, a Rockford Ice Hogs legend, Martin St. Pierre.
Let's go.
Beauty.
Beauty, eh?
All right. That concludes.
That wraps it up. I think I'll probably, I don't know, if you guys put your lines together and stuff, I'll probably collaborate them all together and we'll post them up on the website somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get some lineups put together and
we'll let some people judge our lineups and judge our stuff. That should be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, that officially concludes the fantasy draft of post lockout Blackhawks. Any final thoughts on some teams here?
Ron's team's never going to score any goals.
We're going to score 1 goal a game with Dominic Kubalik, and the defense is just going to have to shut him down.
Bolin, Kubalik, Lang, Stahlberg, Carpenter, Calder.
Nope. Nobody scores.
Wingles, Cody Franzen.
No, they all play defense.
All right.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
How about a round of applause for Mr. Mario for putting this
together? Yes.
Mario for putting this together. Mario Tirabassi. Commissioner Mario.
Great idea. Great execution. Nice, Mario.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a good time. A good way to spend a Friday night in quarantine.
Yep.
Awesome. So I think we can wrap this up, huh, Johnny?
Yeah.
Cool.
Any plugs? I don't got any plugs.
I think we're just, the usual puckhockey.com right here.
PCK,
As you saw right there. Yeah. Go over there, use the Rink. Some of our guys here have some Rink stuff here. Go over there, buy some stuff, use the Rink as your code. You get some money off on your stuff. They just released the Lamb of God line, which is big for me if you're a metal fan. So head over there. Follow us on all the popular social media at the Rink Official, at the Rink Shy, at the Rink Colorado, at the Rink Columbus, the Rinkcast. I'm at Puck and Hostel. John's at Jaeckel, Jaeckel. Everyone rattle off your Twitter handles.
My last name. First name, last name.
Mario _Tirabassi. Hockey Knapsack. WA Laxer 19. Sean Fitzgerald is Diesel 3426, right?
226. Yep.
There we go. And Ronald Luce, which is without any vowels.
It's Ronald without any vowels and Luce. Yep. Very simple.
Yeah. Yep. And Aaron is late in the Goldie. He also is the guy behind at the Rink Colorado. So you'll notice that's handsome goalie trophy on your screen there. If you get a chance, head over to iTunes, rate and review the podcast if you're going to listen to this in the podcast form. Otherwise, I don't know when the next time we're going to all get together. If something happens, this 2014 thing, we may get together and talk about it next week. But right now, it's, we had something planned already. So we're just doing our draft and we're on for the night. So I guess with that being said, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to download, listen, and support us. Until next episode or videocast, see you on the rink.
All right. Let's shut this.